Yes, today we are starting our subject Programmable Logic Controller. So, this is a subject in 5th semester to final year students of Electrical Engineering Diploma students in Haryana Board of Technical Education, Haryana. So, first chapter is Introduction to PLC. Let's start with this. In this chapter, we will cover concepts of PLC. What are the building blocks of PLC? What are different blocks? What are their functions? More or less, in older days, we were using relays. But relay system that we were using for controlling purpose were having some limitations, or you can say some disadvantages. So what were that limitations? That will be discussed. Then what are the advantages of PLC over these relays? That will be discussed. PLC programming is used for controlling PLC based control systems. So what are the programming languages? There are different type of PLC manufacturers, and each manufacturer uses different type of programming languages or syntax, you can say different syntax are there. So that will be discussed. The basic concepts of PLC will be discussed in this chapter. So let's start with the topic. So first we will discuss what is the definition of PLC or what is its concept. So PLC, the full form of PLC is Programmable Logic Controller. The name is suggesting the controller that is programmable. Okay? It is a type of controller which is programmable, and that control is done using some specific instructions or using some logic. So PLC is used for controlling industrial applications. So we can say PLC is an industrial computer control system that continuously monitors the state of input devices and makes decisions based upon a custom program to control the state of output devices. Right? So what we want to say here is that PLC is an industrial computer control system, and its purpose is to monitor or to diagnose continuously different input devices. So different input devices are connected at its input, right, and different output devices can be connected at its output, right. So in between, it is a type of controller that reads all the inputs devices connected to it, and depending on the logic or depending on the control, which type of control we want to do, so it can be used. So it can be used to control the state of output devices, which output device we want to switch on, which output device we want to switch off, that all will be controlled by PLC. So here we can say the primary goal of PLC is to eliminate the high cost associated with inflexible relay controlled system. As I have just discussed, that relay controlled system are having many disadvantages, that all disadvantages can be controlled using PLC, right. In PLC system, we will just change the program, and the whole sequence, whole output devices can be controlled by using simple programming instructions. But in case of relay based system, it is a hardwired based system, means you have to change all the wiring system of the industrial design for controlling any special devices or any modification. For any modification, you have to rewire the whole system, right. So this is your basically concept of PLC. It is very easy to control industrial devices using programmable logic controller. So next we will discuss what are the building blocks of PLC. In PLC, just we have discussed, we are having basically in between, you are seeing here central processing unit and memory. This is basically the part of PLC. At its input, right, there is input module. Through input module, input various types of input sensing devices can be connected. It can be a push button, it can be any type of analog sensor, right? It can be any device which we want to sense, any signal which we want to sense, right? And depending on the there is the one important thing in input module system is optical isolation. What is optical isolation? Yes, we know that in industries we are using high power and high current rating devices, so that can be affected. The PLC system, the controller system can be affected. But in the PLC, basically we have input module that is isolated, that is optical isolated, means in case of high voltage, high current ratings, it will the input in case at the input, if there is high current or high power ratings devices are connected, they will not affect the PLC internal system, so it can work very efficiently in that environment, right, because of this optical isolation only, right? So here is a power supply system is shown. Power supply is given to input module, output module, and your PLC system. In with this PLC system can be it is having central processing unit and memory inbuilt with the PLC system, and this CPU is the only device which takes the logical decision depending on the signals that we receive at the input module, and it produces various signals which we want according to the output devices that we want to control using PLC. In the output side also, optical isolation is provided, so that in case of any loading, high loading, the PLC based system should work properly, right? So here we are having programming device also that is used to program, right? That is how we will program this PLC based system, that will be programmed through programming device. So basic building blocks, again we are discussing, we have basically input module, so input sensing devices or various type of input devices, like you want to have one you want to connect one push button or any type of input sensing devices are connected at the input module, right? And at the second thing is power supply. Power supply is given to all the modules, input module, output module, and PLC logic system. Then input module and output module devices are separated through optical isolation, right? They are in the optical isolation is provided through opto isolators or opto transistors that are inbuilt in the input module system, that so that PLC can control high power rating devices in industrial environment. In industrial environment, there may be some noise, there may be different jerks, there may be different high current ratings devices, right? They can overload the system, so all these things can be avoided through input and output modules. And the in PLC, basically we are system, we are having CPU and memory, right? CPU decides in it senses the input signals and produces the output according to the logic or programming that is done through the programming device. So this is the basic building blocks of PLC basic system. So here we are having we will discuss in detail basic PLC elements. The basic PLC elements include input module, or they are called points, or central processing unit, then output module or points, and a programming device that we have already discussed, right? The type of input module or points used by a PLC depend upon the type of input device used, right? किस टाइप की इनपुट डिवाइस को हमने यूज़ करना है, that depends on the type of input module, right? It can be the type of signal we are receiving at the input. It can be analog, it can be digital, depending on, it can have analog input module, digital input module. So that is type of input module depends on the type of signals we want to sense or type of input devices that we are using. Some input module or point respond to the digital inputs called discrete inputs, which are either on or off. Digital signals or discrete signal, it can be switched on or switched on. We can have the signal in form of 1 or 0 only. Some other modules of input can be of analog signals, like we are having any input sensor like temperature, right? Humidity sensor is there. If such type of input devices are connected to the input module, then then analog input module will be used. If we want to connect suppose LED or some type of on off switch, so it can be of digital type of signal. So depending on the type of signal we are using, that the type of sensor we are using at the input module can be selected of either analog type or digital type. So this is PLC input circuit. The primary function of PLC input circuit is to convert the signal provided by these various switches and sensors into logic signals that can be used by CPU. As we know, we have already read the subject digital electronics. We have CPU, central processing unit. In this, it can read the signals in the form of digital signals like 0 and 1 it can read, right? So at the input, if we are using some, right, suppose analog sensor is connected at the input module. So input module will convert these analog signal into digital signal, and that will be used by CPU for programming and for taking the decision. The CPU evaluates the status of inputs, outputs and other variables as it executes a stored program. CPU evaluates, or you can say it evaluates the status of inputs status, output status and other variables. It evaluates all these and it executes a stored program, and depending on the program it produces the output. The CPU then sends signals to update the status of output. After that, CPU, after reading all the signals, it sends signals at the output module and update the status of output devices. So next is your programming device. We have already discussed we need different programming devices through which we can enter, program and control PLC, and that PLC can control various output devices. So programming device is used to enter or change the PLC program or to monitor or change the stored values, right? Once entered, the program and the associated variables are stored in CPU. If we enter the program, all these information that is stored in the CPU. Whatever we are entering through programming device can be some handheld type device like mobile or handheld device, or it can be a terminal, or it can be even computer. Through computer also we can program a PLC. And in addition to these basic elements, a PLC system may also incorporate an operator interface device of some sort to simplify monitoring of machine or process. So operator interface device can also be used for monitoring of the process of or machinery through programming device. So here we will discuss difference between relay and PLC. We have already discussed the relay based systems are not very efficient. So to overcome the advantages of relays, PLC based systems are used. So here we will discuss the basic difference between the two. The difference between a PLC and a relay logic is that a PLC is a programmable device, whereas relay logic is a network of hardwired electrical devices. Hardwired means we are using physical hard wires, simple cables or simple electrical wires we are using, right, for relay logic systems. But in case of PLC, we are using, it is a programmable device. We have to just change the program for any modification in the controlling system. But in case of relay based system, you have to change all the electrical wiring of the system, of the control system. That is very difficult and cumbersome. Next is, both in PLC and relay logic can perform logical computation, but a PLC does it using a microprocessor and relay logic does it using electric circuit. In both the systems we can control the system, but in case of PLC we use the basic CPU, that is micro CPU. In CPU we use microprocessor that basically controls all the input and output devices using programming that we are entering through the programming device. So here we will discuss the limitations of relay. Prior to PLC, many control tasks were performed by contactors, control relays and other electromechanical devices. Okay, before PLCs we were using basically some electromechanical devices or control relays that are called hardwired control. So in case of relay, circuit diagrams has to be designed, electrical components specified and installed, and wiring list created, right. So if any error was made, the wires had to be reconnected correctly. So we can say the debugging or any change in hardwired based system or relay based system is very difficult. A change in function or system expansion required extensive component changes and rewiring again and again. It is difficult. So third problem with the relays was it requires periodic maintenance and testing in case of any breakage of wire, right. So it needs maintenance and again testing also, right. The fourth limitations with the relay is relay operation can be affected due to aging of components and dust pollution resulting in superior trips. In case of any aging of components or dust or pollution due to anything, any superior trip, unwanted trip can be done, can be affected, that is not desired. The tripping should not be done frequently, or fast tripping is not allowed in, you can say, in industrial systems. So that was a very big problem in case of relays. Next, the problem with the relays was operation speed for an electromagnetic relay is limited by mechanical inertia of the component. So this was a big problem in case of relays. So all these problems of relays, limitation of relays were solved by using PLCs. So all these problems are removed, you can say, are sorted out using PLC. So PLC systems are preferred. So in the next slide we will see what are the advantages of PLC over electromagnetic relay. The first big advantage is smaller physical size than hardwire solutions. In hardwire solution you need a lot of complex wiring, but in PLC based system it is very small system, wiring is very less, so physical size is very less and controlling is very easier and faster to make changes. It is very easy to change to make any desired change. Suppose we are using we are controlling 4 machines using PLC based system, and if we want to control 8 devices, right, so that can be done very easily with the help of PLCs. We have to connect 4 more devices and the system can be controlled. So it is very easy to make any changes, right. PLC have integrated diagnostic and override functions. Diagnostic means the problem can be identified with the help of PLC based system very easily. Diagnostics are centrally available, right. All the you can say debugging is very can be done very easily. Applications based on PLC can be easily documented, right. Applications can be duplicated faster and less expensively. PLC based system is very less is less expensive also. So PLC based systems are of different sizes. One is small sizes, medium size and large size. In case of small size PLC system, it has 128 input output and it can store the memories up to 2 kilobytes. In case of medium PLC size, we can connect 2048 input output devices and it can use memory up to 32 kilobytes. So memory is also increased. Third is PLC size is large. They can connect up to 8192 input output devices and memory used for mnemonics can be 750 kilobytes in case of large size PLC. So the next topic is PLC programming languages. There are only 5 languages that are considered to be standard languages for using PLC. According to the PLC IEC section, there are 5 languages: ladder diagram, sequential function chart, function block diagram, instruction list and structured text. These all are PLC programming languages. We can do PLC programming using these 5 types of programming languages. So we will discuss them in detail. First is your ladder diagram. Ladder diagram is the oldest PLC language. So it is basically graphical programming language which is very similar to relay logic. So it allows engineers and electricians to work smoothly to program the relay logic, the PLC very easily with the help of ladder diagrams. So it can be easily understood, right? So in ladder diagram there are different runs and rails. So they represent real world electrical connections. For example, for vertical, there are 2 vertical rails. They represent the supply power of the device, and horizontal lines are called runs that are connected on the rails, and on that the different type of controlled elements are connected. So second is your sequential flow charts. Sequential flow chart is again a graphical programming language that is very similar to flow charts. You can use steps and transitions to get output. In this language, steps are the functions that are used within the program, and house events that are activated based on these states and other specified conditions. Transitions are the instructions on true or false values that move you from one step to another. In this programming languages, branches are used to initiate multiple steps at a time. The branches act like threads where functions can run concurrently. All of these steps, transitions and branches are housed on a series of scripts that execute a procedural manner. The visual nature of languages allow user to monitor processes that both heavily use conditional logic and run parallel instructions. This language has some limitations, and so it is very not used frequently. Frequently, basically, we use ladder language, that is very easy, and most of the systems use ladder language programming. The next is functional block diagram. So it is basically block based programming language. It is again a type of graphical language that reduces code into blocks, which makes to implement programming very easily. Functional block diagram describes a function between input and output that are connected by connection lines. The logic of inputs and outputs are stored in blocks. The blocks are programmed onto sheets and the PLC scans these sheets in order or by specific connections between blocks, much like procedural languages. The input output focus mirrors that of ladder logic. It is very similar to ladder logic, but in this language the code is there in terms of blocks. So engineers can use that blocks directly and can do more complex problems using functional block diagram languages. So next language that is used for programming of PLC is instruction list. This is the PLC's equivalent. This is very similar to assembly language that we use for programming. So in case of this, there is immediate access to the machine itself, and you can write code that is compressed and fast. Means the less instructions can be used using instruction list. Okay. So in this language, in a list of commands, instruction list, we can say in a list of commands is used, right? Structured text is a high level language designed to program PLC. This is essentially the C++ of PLC world. Any PLC that require complex data handling will most likely use structured text. So we have already discussed what were the advantages of PLC. Means wiring is less, like wiring between devices and relay contacts are done in the PLC program, easier and faster to make changes. Troubleshooting is very easy. Reliable components make these likely to operate for years before failure. So all these are the advantages. So PLC practically, PLC manufacturer or PLC branch, we can say, which company supplies PLC, which companies PLCs are available. In American brands are like Allen Bradley, Gaud Modicon, Texas Instruments, General Electric, Westinghouse, Cutter Hammer, Square D. All these are American brands. European brands are Siemens, Festo, Telemecanique. Japanese brands are Toshiba, Amron, Fanuc, Mitsubishi. In India, basically we are using Siemens, Delta and Allen Bradley. All these PLCs are used in industrial applications. So applications of PLCs are in each and every field. You can say every industrial operation can be controlled using PLC. It can be used in manufacturing, food and beverages, metal industry, power industry, mining industry, petrochemical industry. In the future lectures, we will see all the applications in detail, how we can do programming of PLC, how we can control different types of applications using PLC. Thank you.